Rain poured down over the empty streets. The city was quiet, but not peaceful. It was the kind of silence that felt heavy, like something was watching. Detective Alan Price stood near the gates of the old amusement park. It had been shut down. For 2 years, weeds had taken over the ground. The paint on the signs had faded. The lights were gone. But Alan didn't come here for the lights. In his hand, he held a small pink shoe. Dirty, worn out, but he had cleaned it so many times it almost looked new. It was his daughter Lily's. She had worn it the day she disappeared. 2 years ago. She was 6 years old, and just like that, she was gone. The day everything changed, it had been a sunny afternoon. Alan had taken Lily to the amusement park. She loved it. She laughed at the clowns, ate cotton candy, and begged him to take her to the mirror maze. "Just for a minute, Daddy," she had said, pulling his hand. He smiled and gave in. "Okay, but you stay close, all right?" She nodded. But inside the maze, the mirrors confused them. Lily ran ahead, giggling. Then Alan heard her scream. It was sharp, real. He rushed forward, smashing into mirror after mirror. He called her name. Again and again, "Lily." No answer. He found her shoe lying near a broken mirror. A faint trail of dust led to a wall, but behind it, nothing. No door, no exit. No sign of his little girl. Just. Silence. The police searched for weeks. Dogs, drones, cameras. Nothing. Everyone said she was gone. Maybe kidnapped. Maybe worse. But Alan didn't believe it. There were no signs of struggle. No body. Just emptiness. And he never let go. Present day. A father who won't stop now. 2 years later, Alan wasn't a detective anymore. The police department suspended him. They said he was too obsessed, too emotional. But Alan didn't care. Every day, he looked for clues. Every night, he replayed the camera footage. He searched dark web forums. He talked to people others thought were crazy. He didn't sleep much. One morning, he found a package at his door. No name, no address. Just a black USB drive inside a padded envelope. He plugged it into his old laptop. At first, it looked empty. Then a video file appeared. It was low resolution. Static covered half the screen. But the sound was clear. Footsteps. Humming. A girl's voice. Then he saw her. Lily. She was standing in a strange hallway. Metal walls. Dim lights. She looked older. Maybe 7 now. She whispered something. "Daddy, I'm not alone." Then the screen went black. Alan froze. He watched the video again. Her voice was real. Her face was real. He knew it deep in his bones. This wasn't a fake. She was alive. Somewhere. The hidden symbol. Alan noticed something strange in the video. On the wall behind Lily was a glowing blue symbol. A circle with lines through it, like a star map. He had never seen it before. He printed the image and started asking questions. Most people didn't know anything, until he found someone who did. Dr. Rail, the outcast scientist. Elias Rail was a former astrophysicist. He had worked on space technology and deep signal communication. People said he had gone mad after claiming to hear voices from nowhere. Alan found him in a small cabin outside the city. Rail lived alone, surrounded by old tech and books. When Alan showed him the symbol, the old man's eyes widened. "Where did you see this?" Rail asked, almost whispering. "My daughter disappeared 2 years ago. This was in a video of her." Rail looked away. "That symbol, it's not human. It was recorded by deep space probes once. Then never again. It may be a gateway marker." Gateway?" Alan asked. Rail nodded slowly. "Between worlds." Alan leaned forward. "Are you saying my daughter is in another world?" "I don't know," Rail replied. "But if she spoke to you, then something is reaching back. The signal is calling." That night, Alan couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about Lily's voice. Her eyes. Her whisper. I'm not alone. He plugged the USB drive in again and ran audio filters. Buried deep under the static, there was something else. Another sound. A pattern. A frequency dot. It wasn't random dot, it was calling him. Dot returned to the maze Alan packed. A bag with tools, a flashlight, and the USB. He returned to the abandoned amusement park. The rain had stopped, but the ground was wet and cold. He pushed through the broken gates, past the rusted rides, until he reached the mirror maze dot. It was darker than before. Most mirrors were cracked now, but the shape of the maze was the same. Stepped inside. His flashlight flickered dot, then he heard something, a soft hum. Like a song. He followed it, moving carefully between the shattered glass dot at the center of the maze. He saw it, the wall where Lily had disappeared, except now. It wasn't just a wall dot, it was a door dot round, metallic, with the same glowing symbol as in the video. Alan reached out and touched it. It was warm. The symbol began to spin slowly, glowing brighter. Then he heard it. Her voice. Daddy, hurry. Cliffhanger. Ending. Alan stepped back, heart racing. The door began to open just an inch. Inside, only darkness. Then a flash of light. A shape moved behind it. Not human. Something watching. A soft whisper again. She's waiting. Alan stared at the doorway. He had no plan, but he wasn't turning back. The door was open now. A strange light came from inside, soft and silver, pulsing like a heartbeat. Alan stood still, breathing fast, heart pounding. For 2 years he had searched for a sign. Now he stood at the edge of something that couldn't be explained. Lily, he whispered. A quiet voice came from the darkness. Come in, Daddy. He stepped forward. And the world behind him vanished. A new place. Alan felt like he was falling, but not down. It was more like he was floating. Sideways, through sound and silence at once. His body felt heavy, then weightless. Then suddenly, he landed. Hard. The ground beneath him was smooth like glass, but warm like skin. Around him was a tunnel made of metal and light. Strange shapes moved across the wall, symbols, patterns, almost alive. He stood up slowly, flashlight in hand. It didn't work here. No power, but he could see. The walls glowed softly, guiding him forward. Where am I? He whispered. A voice answered, not Lily's this time. Welcome, Alan Price. You are between. He spun around, but no one was there. Who are you? He asked. No answer. Just a hum. Like breathing. Not alone. Alan moved forward, following the glowing path. It felt endless. He didn't know if minutes or hours passed. Time didn't feel normal here. Then he saw something ahead. A figure, small, human. He ran. Lily. The figure turned. It wasn't her. It was a boy. Pale skin, black eyes, no hair. He didn't speak. Just looked at Alan. Who are you? Alan asked. The boy tilted his head, then pointed at the wall. A new symbol appeared, glowing bright red. Danger? Alan guessed. The boy nodded slowly, then vanished like smoke. Alan backed away. His hands were shaking. Something was very wrong. Here. Messages from the lost. He found a room. Inside were strange machines, floating screens, blinking lights, cables moving like snakes. In the center, a chair. A human-sized chair. He sat down. The machine lit up. One screen turned on. It showed his daughter's face. Daddy, she said, eyes wide. I can't talk long. They don't like it. Lily, he shouted. Where are you? I'm close, she said. But not safe. They took me because I was different. I could hear things. Hear what? Their world. The screen glitched. Her face vanished. Another voice replaced hers. Cold, metallic. She should not speak to you. She was selected. Let go. Alan jumped up. I'm not leaving without her. The room went dark. A door opened on the far wall. Alan didn't hesitate. He ran through it. The things that watched the hallway beyond was longer, darker. Shapes moved along the ceiling, long arms, smooth bodies, glowing eyes. They watched him but didn't attack. Yet. He kept moving. He heard whispers behind the walls, words he didn't understand. But one thing was clear, they knew he was here. They were deciding what to do about it. He reached another door. This one had a symbol shaped like a keyhole. He reached into his pocket. The pink shoe. It pulsed softly. He held it near the door. It opened. The human file room inside was a giant archive. Thousands of glass pods lined the walls. Inside each human's sleeping, floating. Some were old. Some were children. Alan's breath caught. What was this place? Each pod had a name, a file number, a reason. He read one. Subject: Grayson, age 12, reason: musical mind, cross-frequency reader, status: in observation. Another. Subject: Mason T, age 7, reason: empath, emotional range exceeds human norms, status: stable. He moved faster now, searching. Then he saw it. Subject: Lily Price, age 6, reason: gateway sensitive, early contact initiated, status: awake. Her pod was empty. She was not here. But she had been. Traps and truths. Alan turned to leave, but the door closed behind him. Lights turned red. An alarm began to hum, low and deep. Then came the voice. You should not be here. A figure stepped from the shadows. Tall, thin, not quite human. Smooth gray skin, glowing marks across its body. I want my daughter, Alan said. The being tilted its head. She no longer belongs to your world. She hears what you cannot. She was called. I don't care. I'm taking her back. The being stepped closer. Why do you fight for something so small? Alan looked up. Because she's my child. A pause. Then the being stepped aside. She is not far, but you will not leave with her unless you pass. Pass what? The floor beneath him lit. A path formed. At the end, another door. Go, the being said. If you fail, you will join the others. Alan nodded and walked forward. The memory trial. He entered a chamber that looked like Earth, a street from his past. His home, his backyard. But something was wrong. Everything was too quiet, too still. Then Lily appeared. Laughing, running, he smiled. Lily. But this was not her. She looked at him with dark eyes. You let me go, she said. No, Alan whispered. I never did. You stopped looking. That's a lie. She walked closer. Her voice changed deeper, cruel. You failed. No, you forgot my voice. No, the world around him cracked. Alan dropped to his knees, shaking. Then he remembered the shoe. He held it tight. He whispered, I never forgot you. Light exploded from the shoe. The fake Lily screamed and vanished. The chamber melted away, and the real voice came back. Daddy. Your clothes. Cliffhanger ending. The last door stood in front of him. It was tall, shimmering. From the other side, he heard breathing. And then her laugh. Lily. Real. Alive. He stepped forward. But before he could touch the door, something grabbed his arm from behind. Strong, cold. A whisper in his ear. She is not yours anymore. The cold hand tightened around Alan's arm. His body froze. He couldn't move, couldn't speak. Then a voice whispered beside his ear. She remembers too much. That is dangerous. Alan turned his head slowly. The creature was tall, gray-skinned, its eyes shining with soft white light. It didn't look angry. It looked curious. Let go, Alan said, his voice shaking. You passed the first path, it said. But she is not the same child you remember. She has seen what cannot be unseen. She has touched minds not made for your kind. I don't care, Alan said. She's still mine. The creature tilted its head. Then come. But no. This she may not choose you. It let him go. The door opened. Alan walked in. The daughter he found. The chamber was large, round and filled with light that came from no source. In the center stood a girl. Lily. She wore a simple white dress. Her feet were bare. Her hair was longer, but her face, he'd know it anywhere. She turned. Her eyes lit up. "Daddy!" Alan ran to her and dropped to his knees. He held her close, tighter than he ever had. "I missed you so much," he whispered. "I missed you too," she said, her voice soft but strange older. He pulled back and looked at her. "Are you okay? Are you hurt? What did they do to you?" She shook her head. "They didn't hurt me. They showed me things." "What things?" She looked up at the glowing ceiling. "Other places, other minds, other times. They wanted me to forget you." Alan's face went cold. "What?" "They put me in a dream, a long one, but I kept seeing your face. I kept hearing your voice calling. That's why I woke up. I remembered." Alan looked at her, heartbreaking and amazed. "You saved yourself." "No," she said. "You saved me. You never stopped calling." The Watcher's returned footsteps echoed behind them. The tall being returned, this time with two others. Their eyes glowed brighter. "She is awake," one said. "Yes," Alan replied. "And I'm taking her home." They didn't move. One of them spoke. "She is no longer only yours. She remembers Earth," Alan said. "She wants to go back, does she?" The being asked. They turned to Lily. "Tell us, child. Do you wish to leave all this? The knowledge we offered? The power we gave?" Lily looked at Alan, then at the beings. "I want my daddy." A pause. Then the being stepped aside. "You may leave," one said. "But if she calls again, the door will open." Alan held Lily's hand tight. "She won't call again," he said. But deep down, he wasn't sure. The way back they followed a silver path that opened before them. The walls changed as they walked, turning from metal to soft colors, like clouds or memory. Lily looked around. "It's not just one place," she said. "It's many." "What do you mean?" "They're connected, like dreams inside dreams. If you remember the right thing, you can move between them." Alan shook his head. "You sound older." "I am older," she said. "Not in years. In here." She pointed to her head. Alan didn't know what to say. She was still his little girl, but something inside her had changed forever. Earth, almost. They reached another door. It looked like the first one Alan had entered. Only this one pulsed blue instead of silver. Lily stepped forward. The door opened. Bright light filled the space. They stepped through. Suddenly, they were standing in a field of grass. Wind blew gently, trees swayed. A blue sky above, but something felt wrong. Alan turned slowly. The sun had no heat. The grass didn't bend under his feet. "This isn't Earth," he said. Lily nodded. "No, it's a memory of it, a copy." "Can we get to the real one?" "Yes, but not through this place." A voice echoed across the sky. "You are close," it said. "But you do not belong." Alan looked up. "Then show us the way." A shape appeared in the distance. A house. Alan recognized it. It was his childhood home. Inside the memory, they entered the house. It was exactly how Alan remembered it. The old furniture, the clock on the wall, the smell of wood and dust. On the table was a piece of paper. Lily picked it up and read it out loud. "To return, one must forget. To stay, one must remember. The choice is not yours alone." Alan frowned. "What does that mean?" Lily looked at him. "They won't let us leave unless I forget everything." "No," Alan said. "We'll find another way." She nodded. Then something knocked on the door. 3 times. Slow, heavy. Alan opened it. Nothing was there. Then he looked down. A child stood there. Just like Lily, but younger, 6 years old. She looked up at Alan. "Please don't take her," she said. "I'm her father." "No," the little girl said. "You're my father." Then she vanished. Lily's face went pale. They made a copy of me, she whispered. The mind maze the world around them began to shift. The house bent, stretched, twisted. The sky cracked like glass. Alan grabbed Lily's hand. Run! They ran through the house as it changed into a maze, walls forming, closing, doors appearing and disappearing. They passed other versions of Lily, laughing, crying, sleeping. Each one called to him, each one begged. He held tight to the real one, the one who walked beside him. Finally, they reached a door marked with the first symbol he had seen, the star map. This is it, Lily said. The real way out. Then open it, Alan said. She placed her hand on it. The symbol spun. Then, stop. The choice voice spoke from the door. To leave, the child must leave behind what she learned. All knowledge. All connection. She will be normal again. Alan looked at Lily. You okay with that? Lily was quiet for a long time. Then, she said, will I still remember you? Alan nodded. Always. She smiled. Then yes. I want to go home. The door opened. Cliffhanger ending. They stepped through and landed hard. Back at the amusement park. But it was different. The rides were working. Children laughed, and everyone stared at them. Alan looked around. Something was off. Then he saw a poster. It had his name. Missing since 1997. His knees went weak. Lily squeezed his hand. Daddy, what year is it? Alan looked up. A drone flew overhead. The sky above was filled with ships, and people were staring at him like they'd seen a ghost. The sky looked like Earth, the trees, the colors, the sounds. Even the air smelled the same. But Alan could feel it. Something was wrong. Very wrong. Lily stood beside him, holding his hand tightly. She was quiet, eyes wide as she looked around. The amusement park wasn't abandoned anymore. It was full of people. Families, children, workers. Happy music played, but no one came close. Everyone just stared at them like they were ghosts. The poster that changed everything. Alan saw the poster again. It was hanging on a nearby wall, under a large screen showing smiling faces. It said, Missing Person Alert -1997. Detective Alan Price. Age, 35. Last seen, June 14, 1997. Presumed dead. Case closed. Alan stepped closer. His hands were shaking. 1997, he whispered. That's almost 30 years ago. He looked at Lily. This can't be right. Lily looked at the screen, then back at him. We were gone longer than we thought. Alan sat down on a bench. His heart was pounding. How is this possible? He asked. We were only there for 2 years. Lily sat beside him. Time doesn't work the same in their world. Maybe Earth moved on without us. The world that changed. Alan and Lily walked out of the park. Everything looked familiar but advanced. Cleaner, colder. Hover cars floated down wide streets. Tall glass buildings touched the clouds. Screens followed people as they walked, but it didn't feel human. Everyone had small devices in their ears. No one spoke. Everyone just listened. Alan tried asking the question. Excuse me, he said to a man walking past. What year is it? The man looked confused. Then he spoke, but his voice was strange, mechanical, like an echo. Year 2027. Earth Sector, Unified Territory 3. Language input not updated. Please upgrade your communication chip. Alan stepped back. Chip? The man walked away like nothing had happened. Alan looked at Lily. This isn't our Earth. The new authority is. They moved through the city. Alan noticed something else. There were no police. Instead, strange silver drones flew through the streets. They had no faces. Just lights. And wherever they flew, people made space. Alan and Lily ducked into a corner shop. A large screen showed a news report. Today marks the 30th anniversary of the vanishings, those lost during the early interdimensional rift phase. Of the 8,042 people taken, only one has returned. Alan Price. Welcome home, Mr. Price. Alan's mouth fell open. They know, he said. They knew I was gone. A beep sounded at the shop entrance. A silver drone hovered in dot. It spoke in a clear voice. Alan Price. You are requested for debriefing. Comply peacefully. Lily stepped in front of him. No. Alan gently pulled her back. It's okay. We need answers. He raised his hands. I'll go. The white room, the drone took them to a tall building with no windows. Inside, white walls, white floors, white doors. Alan was guided into a room. 3 people sat behind a table. Their suits were silver. No names, no ranks. A voice spoke from a hidden speaker. Welcome back, Detective Price. Alan sat down slowly. Where's Lily? He asked. She is safe, resting. I want to see her. In time, the voice said. First, we need to understand something. You disappeared 30 years ago. You returned. Unchanged. Do you know why? Alan leaned forward. We were trapped in another dimension. They took my daughter. I went after her. A pause. Then the voice said, We know. What do you mean? You were not the first. But you are the only one who returned. The secret they buried. The room darkened. A screen turned on. It showed footage blurry, shaky, like old news reports. People vanishing. Lights in the sky. Children disappearing without a trace. During the late 1990s, the voice said, human children began disappearing. No kidnappers. No evidence. Some believed it was alien abduction. Others blamed secret governments. But the truth was more complicated. The footage changed. A lab, scientists, machines creating energy fields. We accidentally opened a door. The voice continued. A rift. It led to places we couldn't understand. Something came through. Something that wanted minds, not bodies. Alan clenched his fists. You caused it. We tried to stop it. But it was too late. They had already taken too many. And you lied to the world? The voice paused again. Then said, would you have believed the truth? Lily is different now. They let Alan see Lily again. She sat in a soft white room, drawing on a table. When she saw him, she smiled. Daddy! He hugged her tight. Then he noticed something strange. She was drawing symbols, not pictures. The same glowing symbols from the other world. What are these? He asked. They help me remember, she said. But they also make the voices quieter. Alan looked into her eyes. Lily, do you still hear them? She nodded. Double quote sometimes. In dreams, they talk to me, show me things. Sometimes they show me Earth, but not this one. Alan felt cold. Another Earth? Yes, one where you never found me. She's not just human. The next day, Alan met the lead scientist, Dr. Kira Sellen. She wore a long coat and spoke with calm precision. Your daughter has changed, she said. Her brain activity is beyond anything we've seen. She processes information faster than AI systems. She dreams in equations. She can sense rift signatures before they open. Alan stayed silent. She's more than human now. She's a key. A key to what? The door. She didn't just survive it. She became part of it. She can find it, open it. No, Alan said. She's a child. She was, Doctor. Sellen said. Now she's a bridge. The offer that night, Alan sat with Lily on a rooftop. The stars looked the same, but felt different. Do you want to stay here? He asked her. Lily shook her head. It's not home. It looks like it, but it isn't. Alan nodded. We'll find the real one. But what if it doesn't exist anymore? He paused, then said, then we'll make a new one. Suddenly Lily looked up. They're calling again. Alan froze. Who? The ones from before. They want me to go back. They say I can help open doors for others. Do you want to? I don't know. Cliffhanger ending. The next morning, the government offered Alan a choice. Help us open the rift again, they said. Use your daughter. Help us find the others who were taken. Save them. Alan looked at Lily. She was quiet. Finally she said, if I go back, I can bring others home. But you might not come back, Alan whispered. Lily took his hand. I know. Alan closed his eyes. Then opened them. I'll go with her. The room was silent except for the low hum of machines. Alan stood by the window, staring out at the strange world Earth had become. Silver towers, drones instead of people. A sky that looked the same but felt hollow. Behind him, Lily sat in a large metal chair, wires gently attached to her head and arms. She wasn't scared. She was calm, like she understood something nobody else did. Dr. Kira Sellen walked in. Is she ready? Alan asked. She's more than ready, Dr. Sellen said. She knows how to find the rifts. She knows how to open them. Alan turned. She's just a child. Dr. Sellen gave a slow nod. Not anymore. The rift gate, they led Alan and Lily into a chamber deep underground. It looked like a giant circle, half machine, half stone, covered in glowing alien symbols. The same symbols Lily kept drawing in her sleep. This is the rift gate, Dr. Sellen said. We rebuilt it using fragments from the first rift, but it doesn't work unless she's here. Lily stepped forward. The gate began to glow. Alan moved to stop her, but Lily turned to him and smiled. I'll be okay, Daddy. I should be the one going, he whispered. I'm the only one they listen to now. Alan clenched his fists. He had fought everything to find her. And now she was walking towards something he couldn't follow. The rift opens as Lily placed her hands on the gate's core. The symbols lit up. A deep hum filled the chamber. The circle opened, not like a door, but like reality bending inward. Behind the light, darkness, a place between places. Then something moved. A shape, a figure. Someone stepped through. A man, tall, thin, with wide eyes and torn clothes. He fell to the ground, alive. Get medics! Someone shouted. More shapes followed. Women, children, lost people. One by one, they stepped into Earth again. Some cried, some laughed, some looked around in confusion. Lily opened the door to the forgotten, the ones who shouldn't have returned, but then something else came through. Not human. Tall, shadowy, humming with strange energy. The soldiers raised their weapons. Hold fire. Dr. Sellen shouted. The creature looked around. It didn't attack. It simply watched. Then it spoke. One word, Watcher. Alan grabbed Lily's arm. Back away, now. But Lily didn't move. I know them, she said softly. They're not evil. They took you. They didn't take me, she whispered. They chose me. The message from beyond. The Watcher walked up to Lily and knelt down. Alan stood in front of her, ready to protect her with his life. The Watcher didn't move to harm them. It simply reached out and touched Alan's forehead with one long finger. Suddenly, Alan saw visions, worlds folding into each other, children trapped in looping memories. Doors opening inside minds. And something else. A voice, deep and ancient. She is the link, the gate, the mind that remembers what others forget. If you wish to save your kind, let her lead. Alan gasped and stepped back. The Watcher turned and walked back into the rift. Then the door closed. Dr. Sellen's warning afterward. Alan sat with Dr. Sellen in the observation room. What was that thing? He asked. A rift guardian, she said. Or so we think. It lives between realities. It watches, waits, until something shifts. And why did it talk to me? Because you brought her back, Sellen said. And now the universe is watching. Alan looked at the footage of Lily opening the gate. She's just a kid, he whispered again. No, Sellen said. She's the key to everything, but keys can unlock dangerous doors, Alan. Lily is changing. That night, Alan found Lily sitting alone. She was staring at the stars, but not the real ones. She was drawing them in the air with her finger, and they glowed. Lily? He said. She looked at him. I can see other Earths now. In my sleep. Like dreams? No, like maps. Some of them are broken. Some are crying. Alan sat beside her. Do you want to stop? She shook her head. They're calling. For help, they remember me. Can you find more people like the ones who came through? She nodded. But not all of them are human anymore. The second mission 2 days later, a meeting was called. The government, the science teams, and Alan were present. Lily sat in silence. Dr. Sullen stood. We've confirmed over 40 returnees. All were presumed dead. Most are healthy. But some brought strange energy with them. They glow under scans. They speak in broken thoughts. Alan listened closely. They were changed, Sullen said. We need more information. We need Lily to go back. Just once more. Alan stood. I'll go with her. You can't, Sullen replied. You weren't touched like she was. The gate doesn't respond to you. I don't care. Lily stood too. I want to go. She said that the journey back in the gate was opened again. This time, it pulled instead of pushed. Lily stepped through first. Alan stood at the edge, heart pounding, watching his daughter disappear into light. Then, the gate closed. And Earth was silent. Inside the rift again, Lily stood in a space that was not a place. Shapes floated by. Memories, feelings, whispers. She walked forward. And the rift bent around her. Then, she saw them. Children. Thousands. Trapped. In bubbles of light. Some were asleep. Some were stuck in endless loops, laughing, crying, lost in their last moments before they vanished. And around them floated shadows. Collectors. Lily raised her hand and the shadows backed away. She whispered, Come with me. A few children looked up. One reached forward. Then, the entire rift shook. The dangerous one from the far edge of the rift. Something crawled forward. Bigger than anything Lily had seen. A creature made of shattered voices and broken time. It wasn't like the Watchers. It was wild. Angry. Hungry. It followed her trail. She had opened a door, and it had waited for her to return. It screamed. The rift began to collapse. Cliffhanger. Ending Earth. Alan stood by the gate. Suddenly alarms blared. The gate began to crack. Energy pulsed. Dr. Sullen screamed. Something is coming back, and it's not her. Alan ran toward the gate. It opened, and something dark was on the other side. That's something not human, but standing in front of it. Was Lily. Arms raised, eyes glowing, trying to hold the rift closed. Stay back, she shouted. Alan stepped forward. Lily. She turned her head. Tears in her eyes. I can't hold it alone. Lily stood at the edge of the rift, arms outstretched, eyes glowing with power far beyond her years. Behind her, something dark pulsed and twisted, alive, angry, and trying to push through. Her small voice shook as she called out, Daddy, don't. Come closer. I can't hold it back if you distract me. Alan froze at the base of the gate. His heart screamed to run to her, pull her away, save her. But something in his bones told him, if he touched her now, it would all fall apart. Doctor. Sullen's voice crackled through the speakers, panicked and cold. She's overloading. The energy readings are unstable. If the rift collapses with her inside. We lose everything. Alan clenched his fists. She's not everything. She's my daughter. But even as he said it, he saw the truth. Lily wasn't just his daughter anymore. She was something more. Something the universe had shaped. Something that had changed. The rift breaks through her inside the gate. Lily felt the presence pressing against her. It wasn't just one creature. It was a storm of minds. Trapped, twisted, hungry. They had waited too long in the darkness, and now they had followed the signal, the light inside her. She was the bridge, and the bridge was cracking. The voices screamed inside her skull. Some begged, some laughed. One whispered, You opened the way, little key. Now break. Lily screamed. A shockwave exploded from her body. On Earth's side, the chamber shook. Machines, Sparked. The rift pulsed red. Alan ran to the base of the platform. Lily. Her voice echoed across dimensions. I'm losing it. Alan makes a choice. Alan looked at Dr. Sellen. There must be a way I can go to her. You weren't altered like she was. Sellen snapped. The gate rejects normal minds. You'll die inside. Then let me die, Alan said. Silence. Sellen looked down, then handed him a device. This neural stabilizer might buy you 2 minutes inside, no more. Alan grabbed it and strapped it to his wrist. As the gate pulsed with danger, he stepped through. Inside the rift again. The moment Alan entered, pain stabbed through his head. He fell to his knees, gasping, ears ringing. Everything around him floated time. Space, thoughts. He saw memories that weren't his. He saw pieces of Lily's dreams. He saw creatures circling, waiting. And then he saw her, floating in the air, eyes glowing white, body shaking. Lily. He shouted. She turned to him, and for one terrifying moment, her face was blank. Then her eyes widened. Daddy? He ran to her and wrapped his arms around her. The world spun, then stilled. I can't stop it, she said. They're inside. Me. Alan held her tighter. Then we pushed them out. The battle inside. The energy pulsed inside Lily's mind. She could see the invaders' ghost-like shadows, clawing through her thoughts, breaking her focus. But Alan was there now. His presence anchored her. She remembered his voice, his touch, the sound of him humming to her as a baby. She held onto that memory like a shield. The shadows screamed, unable to hold on, but when the largest spoke again. You don't belong to them anymore. Alan stepped forward. She belongs to herself, not you. He raised the stabilizer. It glowed. The shadow lunged. Alan didn't flinch. He pressed the device against Lily's chest. The light exploded. Back to Earth. Chamber was silent. Then the rift burst with white light. Alan stumbled through, carrying Lily in his arms. She was unconscious but breathing. The rift behind them sealed slowly, this time. Carefully. Then it vanished. Forever. Lily sleeps. And the world waits. They placed her in a recovery chamber. Dr. Sellen ran every scan possible. Her brain waves are off. The charts, she whispered. She fought off a hive mind invasion. She did what no adult, no AI, could have done. Alan sat beside her. Days passed. Lily didn't wake, but she whispered in her sleep. Words in languages no human had spoken. Sometimes she smiled, sometimes she cried. Alan stayed. Waiting. The world responds. News spread. The world learned the truth. The rift, the returnees. The creatures, Lily Price, people, began to gather outside the center. They called her the Gate Girl. Some feared her, some worshipped her. Governments panicked. Scientists begged to study her. Alan said one thing: stay away from my daughter. But he knew she would never be just his daughter again. The broken ones awakened. Then something strange happened. The other returnees, the people who had come back through the gate, began acting strangely. One by one, they started speaking in the same language Lily used in her sleep. Some fainted, some screamed. One looked straight into a camera and said, "The gate is closed, but the path is open." Dr. Sellen paled. "They're connected," she whispered. Lily linked them. When she opened the door, she shared something. Alan looked at the footage. It felt like a warning. Lily wakes upon the 7th night. Lily opened her eyes. Alan rushed to her side. "Lily, are you okay?" She blinked slowly. "I saw them all, Daddy, the others. The ones still lost. The ones who aren't human anymore." Alan's voice trembled. "Can we save them?" Lily reached up and touched his face. "No," she said. "Not all of them. Then what do? We prepare." Alan leaned closer. "For what?" She looked out the window, eyes glowing faintly again. "For the ones that come next." Cliffhanger ending. Later that night, Alan found Lily sitting. In the dark, she was drawing again. Not pictures. Symbols. But this time one of them glowed red. Alan touched it. Lily. What does this one mean? She looked up at him. It's a warning. What does it say? She looked out into the night sky. Then whispered, something got out when the door opened. And it remembers Earth. Alan felt a cold chill rise through his chest. Something had escaped, and it was coming. Lily stood in the garden behind the research center. The world around her was quiet. Too quiet. No birds. No breeze. No sky sounds. She pressed her fingers into the dirt. It pulsed. Alan watched from a distance, uneasy. Is it still inside her? Dr. Sullen asked beside him. Alan shook his head. No, something else is. Sullen frowned. Something came back when she did. Something older than the rift, and it's not done yet. Alan nodded slowly. Lily was calm now, but the silence felt like the breath before a storm. The red signal 3 days later. A signal came through. Not from space. Not from any Earth tech. It pulsed on every frequency at once. One short message. Spoken. In Lily's voice. I didn't mean to open the second door. The world panicked. News channels went dark. Military units scrambled. Scientists tried to trace the signal. But it didn't come from anywhere. It came from between. Alan found Lily standing in front of a mirror. In her room. Her eyes were normal. Her face looked tired. I didn't say that, she said softly. But it was my voice. Alan knelt beside her. What second door, sweetheart? She pointed at her chest. The one I didn't even know was there. The dream in the sky that night. Everyone at the research center saw the same dream. A dream of Earth. But not an Earth twisted. Red skies, floating stones. Oceans in the sky. People walking in circles, faces blank. A giant door floating in the sky, and behind it eyes. Watching. When Alan woke, he found Lily already sitting up. She whispered, They're here. Who? She looked up at the ceiling. They call themselves the architects. Who are the architects? Dr. Sullen ran a test using Lily's brain patterns. The results shook her. She's connected to a second network, not the rift, not the old one. This is something newer, bigger. Alan asked, Are they alive? Sullen hesitated. They design. They don't just exist, they build realities. They made the rift? No. But they watched it break. Alan's hands trembled. Why are they interested in Lily? Because she did something they didn't expect, Sullen said. She changed the rules. The voices returned. The returnees, those who came back through Lily's first gates, started collapsing. One by one, but not dying. Sleeping. And whispering. In unison, one phrase over and over, the second door is opening. The architect is curious. Governments issued silence orders. Borders closed. Earth prepared for a war. It didn't understand. Lily simply drew symbols in her notebook. One of them pulsed red. When Alan asked her what it meant, she replied, It's a countdown. The architect appears. It happened on a Tuesday. A tear opened in the sky above the research center. Not like a rift. This wasn't violent. It was clean. Perfect. Geometric. From it stepped a being that didn't walk. It floated. It was tall, faceless, smooth as glass, glowing faintly with blue and white lines. The world held its breath. It hovered down into the garden. And spoke. Not with a voice, but with a feeling. Everyone nearby heard it inside their minds. We did not permit the gate. Alan shielded Lily, but she walked forward without fear. You were too late, she told the architect. You watched. I acted. The architect tilted its head. You became anomaly. Lily smiled sadly, because I was never supposed to exist this way. The architect's test. The being raised one hand. Time stopped. Literally. Birds froze mid-flight. Leaves hung still in the air. Screens locked. Only Lily and Alan could move. Dr. Sullen, frozen beside them, didn't blink. The architect floated closer. You are broken code. We must test your purpose. A glowing portal opened in the garden. Inside it a copy of Earth. But darker, angrier, full of twisted versions of people Alan knew. The architect pointed. Enter, survive, show why you exist. Lily looked at her father. Alan held her hand. We go together. And they stepped through. The dark trial, the copy Earth was wrong. Buildings floated sideways. People repeated the same words like machines. Shadows followed them. The architect spoke. Inside their minds. This is a world where you failed, Alan Price. Your child never returned. Show me why this world deserves to keep her. Alan saw a version of himself drunk, broken, screaming at the sky. He saw graves. Lily's name etched in stone. He looked at the real Lily beside him. She whispered, "This is the world where you..." "Let go." Alan clenched his fists. "I never will." Suddenly, the ground cracked. Shadows rushed toward them. Fight for meaning. Shadows formed people. Monsters. Echoes of all the things Alan feared. They circled. Lily. Alan stood in front of her. He punched, kicked, shoved them back. But they were endless. Why do they keep coming? He gasped. Lily shouted, "Because they don't believe I should exist." The ground split again, and a giant version of the architect appeared. It raised a hand. "Enough. The anomaly endangers the structure." Alan shouted, "She's not an anomaly. She's my daughter." He ran forward and punched the architect. His fist went through. But something cracked. The fake world shook. The return. The architect watched. UNBL, INKING. Then the world shattered like glass. Alan and Lily landed back in the garden. Time restarted. Birds flew. Screens blinked. Dr. Selin gasped, as if waking from sleep. The architect floated back. "You changed the test." Lily nodded. "Because love isn't something you can measure." Alan put his hand on her shoulder. The architect was silent for a long time. Then it vanished. Cliffhanger ending that night. Lily drew one last symbol. It glowed black. Alan looked at it. "What now?" he asked. She looked at the stars. The architects closed their door. "But that's good, right?" Lily didn't smile. "No, because when they closed theirs, someone else opened theirs." Alan stared at her. "Who?" She pointed up. Then whispered, "The ones even the architects are afraid of." The night Lily said, "Someone worse is coming," the sky over Earth began to bleed. Not real blood. A red haze, glowing faintly, covering the stars. It wasn't natural. It wasn't from space. It was from outside the known universe. And it was watching. The world braces, every nation prepared for war. But no weapon could lock onto the haze. No scientist could understand its signals. Lily stayed quiet for 2 days. She barely ate. She didn't sleep. Alan sat beside her. "Talk to me," he whispered. She finally spoke. "They're not like the architects. They don't build." Alan frowned. "Then what do they do?" Lily turned her head. "They erase." The erasers arrived. The red haze tore open above the ocean. From it fell columns of black smoke, not mist, not fog. They moved with intention. Wherever they touched, memory vanished. Towns didn't burn. They were forgotten. People stared at their homes and whispered, "Where am I? Who was I?" Even computers lost files. The internet broke in pieces. Time itself stuttered. Lily is the target. Dr. Selin called Alan into the lab. Her face was pale. "They're not just here for Earth," she said. "They're here for Lily." "Why her?" Alan demanded. Selin showed him a signal, the same frequency as the first rift. "It's her existence." It disrupted everything. The architects saw her as a bug in the system, but these beings... She pointed at the red haze. "They see her as a virus that must be deleted." Alan's fists shook. "Then they'll have to go through me." Selin. "Look down. They will. They're already in your memories." Alan forgets it began slowly. Alan forgot where he parked his car. Then he forgot his sister's name. Then he forgot the name of Lily's mother. He panicked. He wrote everything down. Covered the walls in notes. Lily found him sitting in the hallway, holding a photo of her at age 5. "Who's this?" he asked. "Why do I feel like I know her?" Tears streamed down Lily's cheeks. "They're erasing you from me," he whispered. Lily took his hand. "No, we fight." The plan. One final gate. Lily went into the old chamber. The rift gate. The machines were damaged, but still had power. Dr. Sellen protested. "You can't. If you open it again." "I'm not opening their gate," Lily said. "I'm opening mine." Alan stood beside her. "I won't let her go alone," he said. Lily smiled. "You won't have to." The memory core. Lily revealed a secret. During her time inside the rift, she had stored something inside her mind, a copy of the architect's map of reality. She could rebuild parts of memory, even if they were lost. She built a small glowing orb. "This holds your memories of me, Daddy," she whispered. "If they erase you, I'll put you back." Alan touched the orb, tears in his eyes. "You're saving me again." Lily smiled. "You saved me first." The red world. Lily opened the gate, but this time it didn't lead into darkness. It led into the red world. The place the erasers came from. World of silence, fog, and eyes that blinked from inside clouds. Alan and Lily stepped through. Their bodies shook. Memories tried to leave them. Lily shouted, "Hold on to my voice." Alan closed his eyes. He heard her laughter, her crying as a baby, her first words. He held those sounds in his mind. They walked deeper into the red. Final confrontation. They found it. The core of the erasers. A giant spinning cube of red and black. Light, and around it, ghosts. Not dead people, forgotten people. People who had names once. Faces once. Now they floated in silence. The cube spoke. A voice with no emotion. "Your thread breaks the weave. You should not be." Lily stood tall. "I exist because a man refused to stop searching for his child." The voice answered coldly, "That emotion is illogical." Alan stepped forward. "No, that emotion is what makes us human." The cube attacks. The cube pulsed. Ground shook. Images flashed. Memories trying to be stolen. Alan saw his wedding disappear. He saw Lily's 5th birthday blur. He screamed. Lily screamed too. But she didn't fall. Instead, she held out the memory orb. It exploded in light. Pictures poured out. Lily and Alan laughing, crying, hugging, running, surviving. The cube screamed. The ghosts paused. One by one. They turned toward Lily. The forgotten. Remember, a woman stepped forward from the fog. "Lily?" she whispered. "Is that you?" Alan gasped. It was Lily's mother. But she had been gone for years. Now she remembered. Others followed. People who had been erased now saw clearly. Lily's presence was fixing them. The cube began to crack. "This cannot continue." Alan grabbed Lily's hand. "Finish it." Lily nodded. And then she sang. A lullaby Alan used to sing to her as a baby. Cube cracked apart. The red sky collapsed. And the erasers screamed, not in rage, but in fear. The return home. Alan and Lily fell through light. Back into the chamber. Dr. Sellen rushed to them. "You did it," she whispered. But Alan wasn't sure. He looked around, and he remembered everything. Nothing had been erased. Lily smiled. "You held on." Alan hugged her tightly. "You saved me." 1 year later, the world changed. The gates were destroyed. No more rifts. No more architects. No more red haze. But something else changed too. People started caring more about family, about memory. About love. Lily went back to school, but she wasn't just a normal child anymore. She had knowledge in her mind no one could understand. She used it to build. To heal, not to protect. Final scene. Alan stood outside the house one evening, watching the sunset. Lily came beside him. "Do you ever wonder if they'll come back?" she asked. "The erasers?" She shook her head. "No, the ones even they feared." Alan stayed silent, then smiled. "If they do, They'll have to face something stronger. What? Alan put an arm around her. A father's love. Lily smiled, and for the first time in a long time, everything felt right.